Hey everyone, so we have more updates from the CEO. We have more updates about so many things, so be sure to watch until the end and drop a like. Damn it, Shib Army, stop letting these fuckers best us, said the CEO. You see all the numbers in their username, and he's basically saying they are alts and alternate accounts spread to cause harm to the Shiba Inu community. You must remain vigilant. These scammers and fudders are going into overdrive. Please be careful. And a lot of things are happening right now. In fact, asking is a sus at this point. No answer I can give will be helpful until the swap is dropped, at least until Certic drops the results. That's why he cannot give us more information about any other future updates. It's very harmful for the community if something gets leaked. But we're seeing that things are happening for Shiba Inu and they're in fact real. Excellent AMA Shaitoshi, really enjoyed your perspective of Shib. We're all Yoshi. One question I would love to heard but I never got a chance to ask, and it will be an ERC only. So the coin will never go to BCC, but it will be ERC only from what we're seeing so far. But when Shiba Swap will release, taken directly from AA, as we're told before, you can prove being here on that AMA before Shiba Swap release. We're not going to announce the date, and Shiba Swap will be dropped to the world without no previous announcement. So that is to avoid the scammers, that is to avoid the whales, that is to avoid the bots setting up. And this will be a very good start for anyone coming in to actually get that head start and get into staking, which will provide a lot of profit, which I'm really excited for. But you have to understand he had to address this officially in every instance because there's so many scammers constantly making website and such people are falling for them. It will launch unannounced for a reason. Patience. So this is why there has been no announcement on the swap yet. It's probably dropping at this point at some point pretty soon, and I'm really hoping it is soon. But what we can see here is this is from the AMA a few days ago. That's still very relevant. This back and forth identifying and solving issues can take quite some time. Each smart contract is unique, and especially the more complex ones can require a lot of time to understand, identify issues. You don't want to rush security. You would rather a more secure project whose audit took longer than the rush one, which is less secure from what I'm seeing. So obviously, they've been working for a long time on the audit, on the security, on swap, and I think they're going to be having much more updates than just this. Our engineers that follow up by giving recommendations of how to alleviate these potential issues, they're explaining how actually the Shiba Swap security works. As we see here, this is why I hold. I don't want to work in a dead-end job for the rest of my life. I want to live to the fullest. The average age of retirement is 66. The average lifespan is 78. And the idea of doing all this for 12 years of elderly leisure is bleak. Do you agree with this? Yes or no? Do you like working? Or is financial independence or so-called FIRE better for you? And basically what we're seeing so far, George Soros, and this is pretty good news for Shiba Inu and for Bitcoin, one of the biggest investment funds is reportedly trading Bitcoin, so they just got caught. In addition to trading crypto, Soros Fund Management is said to be in a discussion to acquire blockchain-focused firms, and one of them is, Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is going to be blockchain-focused, from what I'm seeing. And Soros Fund Management, the private investment firm of billionaire George Soros, is reportedly trading Bitcoin as a part of broader exploration of digital assets. So big funds are going in for Bitcoin. They're seeing so much potential in it, and that it can actually grow. People familiar with the matter told author Michael Botley that Dom Fitzpatrick, the chief investment officer for Soros Fund Management, gave the green light to trade Bitcoin and possibly other cryptocurrencies in the last few weeks. This is big news, and this just got leaked. This is obviously very strong news that no one is talking about yet. But a spokesperson for Soros told fund management was contacted by the street but declined to comment. And also reportedly in conversation about acquiring a private stake in the leading blockchain-based enterprises. So this is big news, and this is a pretty big funding we're going to be seeing. So obviously these big chains, big investment companies are coming in, dropping in on Bitcoin, just dropping lots of stacks of cash. And they did a $200 million funding of New York Digital Investment Group, better known as NIDIG. And basically at the time, NIDIG co-founder and CEO said the investment round was evidence that the institutional adoption of Bitcoin was on the rise. And it's happening. Big pumps are happening. George Soros has given his team the green light to trade Bitcoin. This could be a positive or negative depending how they trade it. So really depends if they short or sell it. So basically short means that they will expect the price to drop, or basically basically buy more and expect the price to rise. It's not entirely clear how Soros Fund Management intends to trade Bitcoin, if at all. An investment stake in a digital asset shouldn't necessarily be viewed as bullish, given that Soros earned his reputation for shorting the British pound in 1992 and effectively breaking the Bank of England. Now, yeah, that's kind of bad, but I think even trading in such big firms is a good point, and I think this is a pretty good indicator that big banks actually looking at crypto, seemingly there's still a lot of money to be made here. So Bitcoin Vitality is still a concern for CEO of BNI, Mellon's subsidiary, and a lot of these institutions are actually afraid of coming in because Bitcoin is up on the low, and same's happening with Shiba Inu right now. We can see Shiba Inu dropping and then, Bitcoin dropping as well. And all of these go up the next day, and people want stability. When they look for long-term investments, they're looking for stability, and usually they're pumping up 200 million, 300 million. I think non-stability is better. If you want to be really stable and safe, you should go into stocks. But if you want massive profits like 10x, 100x, then crypto world is for you. But the foreign exchange expert stated that Bitcoin's slow and expansive transactions could be major impediment to mainstream adoption. Just use Shiba Inu or use Ethereum. It's so simple. We're skeptical in terms of the ability of Bitcoin to take over as means of payment. Well, then don't use Bitcoin. Then use Shiba Inu on its own blockchain. It's so simple. Use Ethereum on its own blockchain. They keep saying that they don't want to use Bitcoin. However, you don't need to use Bitcoin. Simply using Ethereum would rise the prices of Shiba Inu. The company has been a subsidiary of BNY Mellon since 2009 and around 1 trillion in assets under management. So they have a lot of money, but they're not sure if they should invest in Bitcoin because it's high transaction fees. So obviously, I think this big firm should start looking into other potential cryptocurrencies such as Shiba Inu and Ethereum. And yes, I honestly think Shiba Inu will grow more. And what they want is a more stable coin to invest in right now. Insight Investment is optimistic about altcoins. So that's really good news for Shiba Inu so far. They probably are talking about Shiba Inu because Shiba Inu is the #1 coin, right? Or other cryptocurrencies than Bitcoin, and expect to see rise in such digital assets. So if, a 1 trillion in asset management firm says, well, these altcoins, they're pretty good. This is obviously a very bullish sign that altcoins such as Shiba Inu are going to increase, especially if it survives this bear run. Then we're going to be seeing some positive uptrend in the future, particularly those who solve issues like the speed and cost of transactions, energy usage, and vitality, probably referring to ADA or Cardano, but I think Shiba Inu can have its own use in the community as well, especially with the obvious updates. But some bad news, and I don't think it's that bad. Gold outshines Bitcoin in Q2 even after posting its worst month since 2016. In a quarter mired by mixed inflation reports, Elon Musk FUD, and a suddenly hawkish Federal Reserve, safe haven rivals more inversely. So we're seeing that Bitcoin is actually going up and is set to outperform Bitcoin in the second quarter of 2021. The inverse correlation between Bitcoin and gold market surged specifically in April and May 2021. Now, the issues with gold is you can never quite trade gold, right? You don't go to a store and offer someone a brick of gold trying to buy a Lambo. However, with Bitcoin, every single day this is possible more and more. That's why I don't believe in gold. It's like used 500 years ago, and the Bitcoin flow picture continues to deteriorate, and it's pointing to continued retrenchment by institutional investors. Over the past month, Bitcoin future markets experienced their steepest and most sustained liquidation since the Bitcoin ascent started last October, basically saying there's a big drop in Bitcoin trading and everything. But no one is talking how Bitcoin and both Shiba Inu have massively grown in the past stages. Yes, Musk has not helped with his tweets, basically, that he said that he's going to unload its entire 1.5 billion Bitcoin stash, where Bitcoin crashed by 30%. Obviously, I don't think he should have tweeted that, but there's still much more potential in altcoins specifically, especially if these big investments are calling in, hey, maybe we're going to be looking into altcoins instead of Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin is always going to be #1. Simply put, it's so strong, but I do think the best thing about it that we're going to be seeing a big battle between Bitcoin and gold, which I already was talking about this, but Bitcoin is always going to win because you can simply send it everywhere. A study of leading economists conducted by Financial Times found that the majority of them expect the Fed to raise interest at least twice by the end of 2023, aligning accurately with a central bank official dot plot. And I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty excited to see Bitcoin go up by 2023, but because obviously we've all been seeing a massive bearish run, not a bull run, a bearish run. But gold repeatedly failed to overcome the 100-day moving average in the recent days, which was a bearish sign. There's no risk now that so far patient ETF investors jump on the bandwagon and sell their holdings. This would amplify the downward move. And the CEO of financial analysis ADVN predicted another leg down for Bitcoin, noting the breaking below 30,000 would put the cryptocurrency on a path below towards 20,000. And if Shiba Inu drops even more, I'm completely fine with that. Firstly, big institutions coming in after that and buying even more, which is super exciting to see. Secondly, one thing that is super undervalued right now is first, Ethereum, second, Shiba Inu. Both are massively undervalued, and since Shiba Inu is on the Ethereum blockchain, both are basically correlated. Dogecoin, I think it's overvalued. And honestly, if you're investing in Dogecoin, not financial advice, but I'd be seriously waiting for those updates because they have been promising some big updates so far. I see Bitcoin having a much stronger future, but Bitcoin is always going to be dominating. These traders and big investment firms are saying Bitcoin is going to drop, but I'm pretty excited for that. That we need to be, and here what we can see, told CNBC that the institutional outflows from Bitcoin markets had picked up momentum recently, adding that traders need to be cautiously bullish on the cryptocurrency. So some are saying that crypto is dropping, some say that crypto is growing. Obviously, no one has an idea because it's a wild west out there, and we can just see patterns. That's all we can do. We can speculate, but it's very obvious to me within the updates Shiba Inu is getting right now, it's going crazy. So be sure to drop a like. Thank you so much so others can see this, and see ya.